Hey, what's up everyone? After about 3 weeks of playing around with the apps, we're finally going to do the review of ESR and Diablo SuperBiker apps. Alright, so for this entire review, ESR is going to be on the left hand side and Diablo SuperBiker is going to be on the right. And we're going to talk about their similarities. And both the apps are extremely easy to use, very intuitive, very easy to get started. They're both free. You start with just your email or whatever works for you to get them on there. I think on one of them you can use Google and Facebook, and on the other one you have to use just your regular email. They're both actually very accurate when it comes to speed, but I think they're a little bit too generous when it comes to lean angles, especially the Diablo SuperBiker. ESR has a Facebook-like community, but nobody seems to use it. And Diablo has something more like a little bit of a Twitter type of feel to it, like where you, after you run, you get to brag about it and say, hey, this is what I did. But again, nobody uses it. Not that I noticed. I tried making posts or whatever on ESR. It never worked for me. And on the Diablo one, I never even tried, and I never saw anyone else's. Alright, so now we're just going to talk about their differences. And the differences are the user interface and data review. So what I mean by user interface is just basically what it looks like and the buttons you click and all that stuff to get the app to work. And I feel that the Diablo SuperBiker is a lot more polished, a lot better looking, and when you're reviewing your information, it's a lot easier to capture what it is that's actually important to see, like the lean angle, all that stuff. It points it out there for you and puts it down so you can see it immediately. So ESR starts tracking you immediately, and Diablo actually has like a 5-second countdown. That's going to be a toss-up which one you think is better. That's going to be entirely to you. ESR has the ability to multi-screen, at least on my Note 8. But on the Diablo, I can't multi-screen at all. ESR doesn't pause my music when I started, but Diablo does. And then the ESR has only basically what I would consider a street mode, but Diablo has a 2-setting type thing where you're able to use either track or street. I've not used the track settings, but I'm assuming it's kind of similar. If I end up using it, I'll leave it down in the description below to let you guys know what the difference is. ESR launches ready to go. So as soon as you open the app, it goes immediately to the map that allows you to click the start button, and then you can start tracking your stuff. Versus the Diablo, they have this annoying little warning thing that says, hey, you're not going to be using this for nonsense. You're not going to do stupid stuff with it. Basically, kind of cover your ass type of warning. ESR though, when you're done with your run, it takes about 3 clicks or so to save the run, versus Diablo, the second you tell it you're done with your run, it'll save it immediately, no extra clicks. So I guess the clicks you do in the beginning for Diablo, you'll do them at the end for ESR, and vice versa. One really important feature I forgot to mention about the Diablo app is that you're able to review your run second by second using the arrows on the screen, versus on the ESR app, you have to try to basically guesstimate where you're at by scrolling through your entire run, and it's extremely difficult to get it right. The ESR is a great app, and the crash light might be a great benefit if you like to push your limits and you ride on your own, but it's just not for me. I ran a very comfortable pace, and I understand the streets are not the place to test the limits of your bike or yourself. There are too many variables out of your control. Another thing I dislike is not being able to smoothly and easily run through the data of my runs. Although the app collects data continuously, even with my S Pen, I cannot pinpoint a specific part of my run and review it second by second. Needless to say, I prefer the Diablo app by Pirelli just because it seems more refined and more of the information that really matters is shown immediately. But the most important aspect is when I review my ride, I can go second by second through a turn to see my lean angle and all the other data that might help paint a picture of my mistakes or any improvements that I had made throughout my runs. I do plan on getting a dedicated tracker. That way I can track my lap times, I can track my lean angle, my speed, and all that stuff. That's kind of gonna, that I hope is gonna be more accurate and a lot better at doing all of this. This is just a very easy, cheap way to do it, especially if you're not gonna be very competitive or anything like that. If you're just kind of doing it on the streets or anything like that. Again, make sure to do this at your own risk and don't think that I'm a professional that you should follow just because I said it on YouTube. Again, everything is at your own risk.